Ladies and gentlemen, the new season is upon us. Welcome to Sao Paulo, Brazil for the season opener of Midwest F2. Tonight, the grid will take on the Autodromo Jose Carlos Pache, a 4.3-kilometer anti-clockwise circuit that consists of 15 corners, 10 to the left and 5 to the right. The combination of two DRS zones, tricky corners, and the ever-looming threat of rain makes this one of the most exciting races of the season. Definitely be looking for loads of action tonight. For starters, Turn 1 saw an excellent side-by-side racing between Jenna and Katie 35 off the line, plus 18 other cars, as well as a wee bit down the hill from Turn 3 on into Turn 4, saw plenty of action with the help of DRS, as well as mistakes as we saw Cake Thomas lose his 3 spots after his error on lap 2. Finally, the tight corners of 6, 7, and 8 saw Katie, Majako, and Cake as well go side by side in spectacular fashion. And Dusty Lusky is on his way. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a brand new season in Midwest F2, and boy, am I excited. This game looks fun, especially for F2. Let's see what we got. New drivers in new places. Dusty Lusky making his way down the hill into the DRS. The season opener here in Brazil. What is one of the better tracks for F2 driving as he heads down into turn number 4. A bit slow as he makes his way through the gears. I think he's lost a bit of time just then. Puts himself P6 at the moment. A little bit of glitchy about there. It looks like Joko has retired from the session somewhere or another, as now it looks like Dusty making his way up the hill through 6, 7, and 8. Into the shade now of turn 8. Around this little bend here of turn 9. Back up the hill into turn 10. Tight little corner here, especially for those in the heat of battle as well. Remember, we're not going to have formation lap due to the audio glitches that's been happening on the formation lap, which I'm actually kind of upset about. I was looking forward to seeing the interactive formation laps as Dusty Lusky making his way. Oh, and I think he's just invalidated then, hasn't he? Yes, he has. On now with GSR Ryan Rods making his way through the final couple corners here. It looks like A-Dub in the HWA looks to be taking pole here, and he does. A-Dub in first, Jonathan Dunk second, Nikki 64 in third, Shariah and Cake 4th and 5th. The biggest story, though, El Majako down in P9 for the Prema team. Him and his teammate Beagle Hunter did not do all of that well. And suddenly we have Formula 1 music as we go into... I have to turn music off. I do not want to get copyright stricken. So, A-Dub takes pole position on his debut race full-time. Jonathan Dunk second, Nikki 64 in third, Shariah 4th, Cake in 5th, Josh Sr., which is formerly J-Naw, in 6th, Dirty Boy Jackson 7th, Spaceman 8th, Majako 9th, 10th is Mandigos, making his debut, 11th Ryan Rods, 12th Erect, making his debut as well, 13th Beagle Hunter, 14th Villeneuve, and I believe everyone else. Dusty Lusky did not manage a lap, Killer XL did not manage a lap, Valentine did not manage a lap, Ray 46 did not manage a lap, and Joko did not manage a lap. Looking at Dusty Lusky here, top 5 in the championship last season. He's got a lot of work to do. Let's see what happens off the start. Any day now. Here we go, ladies and gentlemen. The brand new season of F2 is underway here in Sao Paulo, and it looks like off the line, A-Dub got a really good start. Oh, and there's a car already off towards the back. Someone's gone around back there. It's Nikki 64. He's not had himself a good start as the cars file through the Senna S. It looks like, aside from Nikki 64, everybody's gotten away cleanly for now. Jonathan Dunk right on the back of A-Dub here, round the right side. Can they find a move into turn number 4? Jostling about towards the back. Shariah Coleslaw has made his way up to 3rd. Dirty Boy Jackson up to 4th as well. And it looks like A-Dub and J-Dunk still battling it out. Spaceman picks up 3 seconds for corner cutting already as we have a car off towards the back. It's Dusty Lusky off back there. Not the best start from him. Jonathan Dunk wasn't able to catch A-Dub out by surprise. A-Dub has held on to his lead for now. But as it turns out, Shariah Coleslaw under pressure from Dirty Boy Jackson round the outside as they now head down into turn number 9. Up the hill, back into 10. Great racing this is so far as the grid files through. Looks like the Carlin's gone off back there. I believe that was Ryan Rod. Something has happened with him. Dusty Lusky has left the session. Car's gone off towards the back. It may have been Villeneuve. It may have been Beagle Hunter as well. Carbon fiber was sent flying. But it looks like for now we've gotten away somewhat decently okay. Definitely drama to be had off the start. Towards the back, Majako and Cake Thomas really in close quarters here. 2 of the championship contenders for last season going at it once again as they head down the hill into the Senna S. Who can get any sort of advantage? Majako wants the inside. Can he find it? He's going to look for it at the left rear tire, and no, he doesn't find it. Behind him, GSR Ryan Rod still looking for it now. He might just get it. A little bit further back, it looks like Erect is under, or Ray 46. No, it's perhaps Valentine and Killer XL were side by side momentarily. Valentine's going to try the left-hand side. Can he perhaps find a move to be made? Down the inside, he's on the softer tires as well. It should be a shoe-in, and yes, it is. Valentine does make the move nicely. The field all within such close quarters of each other now. Jonathan Dunk still looking to get to the back of A-Dub here. As we look at who's on what tire, a lot of drivers have chosen the medium tires. Big off towards the back. It's Nicky 64 who's gone around. Battling going on as well throughout the grid. Very hard to keep up with in the early stages already. Elma Jacko looking round the left side of Cake Thomas. Elma Jacko, no! And he's been plowed into by Ryan Rods. No, and something has gone wrong there. I don't know if Jacko caught oversteer on exit of the corner, but somehow, some way, Ryan Rods plowed into the back of him, and it almost ended catastrophically, but for now, everybody hangs on. It looks like 3, 6, 7 drivers have chosen to start on the medium tires. Killer XL, Ryan Rods, Beagle Hunter, and Spaceman all choosing to start. Oh boy, is the microphone still there? Oh my god, don't do this to me. Says it switched to USB microphone. I'm going to take its word for it. Cake Thomas looking for it here to Josh Sr. in the Virtuosi. Looks like Ryan Rods has gotten around Killer XL towards the back, around the right side. Looks Killer XL, can they find a move to be made? Doesn't look like for now, although Cake Thomas up the grid now. He's just made a move around Josh Sr. Doesn't look as if any position is safe so far, minus that. It looks like A-Dub, I would say, is pulling out on Jonathan Dunk, but that's just not even true. That gap has stayed within 0.5 of a second, and with the help of DRS very shortly, I think it might just change hands. Very good battling so far. DRS, will it be in play now? I'm not sure it is. Yes, it will. DRS has been enabled. Let's see if anything happens. Jonathan Dunk looking for it, looking to close down on the leader of the race, A-Dub. A-Dub so far has brought absolute life back into that HWA team. Jonathan Dunk has brought life back into MP. As it looks like his teammate of Nicky 64 has not gotten a good start. As we look a little bit further back, Joko trying to find his way around Mandigos here. Mandigos making his debut. He's up to, it looks like Killer XL's picked up 3 seconds for multiple warnings. That's not what you wanted to see whatsoever. It looks like now Joko trying to find his way towards Mandigos here. Mandigos also his debut as well. Joko up 11 spots since the start of the race. That is absolutely mega, that. Looks like for the most part, though, the top 10 has stayed the same, aside from Valentine, who's picked up 7. Joko, as aforementioned, picked up 11. Mandigos up 3, and Dirty Boy Jackson up 4. Erect, 3-second time penalty for multiple warnings. Jonathan Dunk now within 0.4 of a second on the leader of A-Dub as they head through turn 12 and 13, Purple Sector 2 from Jonathan Dunk. Heading towards the DRS now. I feel like this is going to be a really good opportunity to do so. Can he find it? DRS open. The rear wing giving you up to 12 miles an hour of extra pace. Round the right side, can he find it? It's the fastest lap as well for Jonathan Dunk. Can he find the outside? Still looking for it now. Still side by side between these two. Down the hill through the Senna S. Looks very clean. DRS is going to be open once again for Jonathan Dunk in the MP. It's going to be a drag race down the straight. And it actually looks like A-Dub might have the DRS, and he does. So A-Dub temporarily was behind that of Jonathan Dunk before the detection point, and A-Dub was able to get DRS, but Jonathan Dunk's still right there. It's an excellent battle for the lead, this. New faces emerging as potential race-winning favorites on the opening round of the season. Looks like Jonathan Dunk's not necessarily had the best go through that. We're going to go a little bit further back now. Cake Thomas and his teammate of Shariah Coleslaw doing very well to hold on to P4 and 5. Currently, I would say, have quite the handle on the Constructors' Championship so far in the early goings of this race. As we look a little bit further back now, GSR Ryan Rods filling in for Will Ans this week, looking to the back of Valentine here. Valentine, his first time driving the new F2 cars in this game, and he's made up 7 spots off the start. that seems like a statistic to be proud of. Up the grid once again, the battle for the lead. Jonathan Dunk, has he got DRS enough to get around A-Dub, round the right side, really steps out to the right side of the circuit, tries it the long way around, and he does it. Beautifully done there from Jonathan Dunk, but will he be able to hold on, as A-Dub's going to have DRS when they exit turn 3. Killer XL, 5-second penalty, speeding into the pit lane. Around the right side now looks A-Dub as they head down into turn 4. Valentine, a 3-second penalty for him as well. Maybe a little contact there, didn't quite look like it. Killer XL has retired in the pits, not what you wanted to see, and it looks like Jonathan Dunk, momentarily at least, has held on to the lead as they make their way up the hill through Sector 2. Great racing. This is Majako, has found his way around Mandigo's here. Great move, it seems, for Majako. He's up a place. Mandigo's still in hot pursuit as well. Definitely doing his best, trying to look for any sort of advantage to be had. Valentine looks to have been overtaken by Ryan Rods, or something vice versa. I don't know, perhaps it was quite close. A-Dub now still within 0.4 of a second on Jonathan Dunk as they exit turn 13. That's 12 actually, turn 12, up through 13. DRS is going to be enabled here shortly. Next closest battle back to this, Josh Sr. on Shariah Coleslaw. Let's see if A-Dub can make a move happen here on Jonathan Dunk as they head into turn 1. I think he perhaps wanted the inside, didn't quite get it, and I think he's going to have to hold off until the DRS section out of turn 3. Let's see what he's got here. Dirty Boy Jackson, 3 seconds for multiple warnings, not what he needed whatsoever. DRS enabled now for the HWA of A-Dub. Can he find it down to the inside in the corner? No, he backs off for now. Let's see if Josh Sr.'s got anything for Shariah Coleslaw. DRS open for him. Doesn't quite look as if the move is going to be able to be made for now. A little bit further back, Joko, he's reeling in Jacko. Oh, this is a battle I've been waiting for the longest time now. Mandigos, he wants in on this as well. It's a 3-car battle for that 7th spot. Elma Jacko, I'm a bit surprised to see is struggling in the early goings here. But I wouldn't count him out yet. Remember last season as well, Jacko did not get off to a comfortable start either, and he ended up taking the Drivers' Championship by just simply being consistent. Consistency is definitely key here in F2, and Jacko has found that out himself multiple times. Being himself, I believe, at least, I had the statistic on me, I don't anymore. A-Dub DRS open now, onto the 8th lap of the Grand Prix. Not many drivers, I don't think, pitting just yet. Down to the inside, looks A-Dub, can he find a way? Purple Sector 3 from him, way onto the curbs, no, and he somehow hangs onto the car. Great save there from A-Dub, that almost was catastrophic. He's going to have DRS, although I'm not quite sure it's enough to make anything happen. Josh Sr. trying to reel in Shariah Coleslaw here. And kind of be a little surprised if anything happened with that. A little bit further back, it looks like Villeneuve and Beagle Hunter and Dusty Lusky battling it out here side by side through the first and second corners, then down the hill they go, and it looks like a little bit of contact there from Beagle Hunter. Nothing intentional looking, at least, but contact was made. And still the battle for the lead. A-Dub and Jonathan Dunk going at it. Round of pit stops still has yet to happen. Out of turn 12 and 13 they go. Erect, 3 seconds of penalties for multiple warnings. That puts him up now to 6 seconds. We have a caution somewhere over in the back. It looks like Nikki64 has taken a little bit of a tumble. Nothing major yet. Oh, so interesting here. A-Dub has came into the pit. Jonathan Dunk has stayed out. Dirty Boy Jackson has stayed out. Mind you, Dirty Boy Jackson's on the mediums. Who else will follow A-Dub into the pit? It doesn't look like anybody at all. As it looks like here, Josh Sr. wants his way around. Shariah Coleslaw, perhaps. Doesn't quite make the move just yet. Let's see if DRS can potentially help him here. Open then for the Virtuosi driver of Josh Sr. 5 seconds of penalty for Erect for speeding into the pit lane. That puts him up to 11. No move to be made just yet on those drivers there. It looks like only a couple drivers have come in. Erect has come in, Valentine has come in, and A-Dub has come in. So perhaps the drivers following along with the leader and maybe trying some sort of an undercut here. it seems just a wee bit too early for that pit stop to be made. However, you never know. I mean, lots of different strategies could be played, despite it being very simple. Looking on the outside, it never usually ends up that way. A little bit of cloud starting to form now here in Interlagos. Perhaps some rain in the future? It's certainly starting to look like it, doesn't it? DRS enabled here. Joko's a little bit outside the window. It looks like Dirty Boy Jackson on his way in now. Actually, that's Jonathan Dunk on his way in. Let's see who follows suit. Kate Thomas being one of them. In behind also comes Elma Jacko, Joko, and looks like Ray 46 on his way in as well. Ray somehow gets the car slowed down in time. Villeneuve on his way in. It looks like Dusty Lusky and Beagle Hunter. These two have been battling it out for a hot minute now. And it looks like Dusty's got the advantage this time by. That promotes Dirty Boy Jackson up to the lead. Josh Sr. and Shariah Coleslaw. Remember, I believe both these drivers starting on the medium tire, and that is true. Got a yellow flag off somewhere. Nikki 64, I think, has spun it around again. So now about half the field has boxed. I think I would expect to also see the drivers who started on the mediums come in very shortly as well. We know that the softs can go about 10 laps. Maybe it's worth trying, I'm not quite sure. As it looks like GSR Ryan Rod's trying to make his way around Los Mandigos here. Mandigos on his debut. Currently doing one hell of a job as well, I'll say that much. Through turn 12, through turn 13 eventually. This is kind of what we expected. The drivers who started on the mediums filtering their way towards the top. Whether it's permanent or whether it's temporary, we'll have to wait and see as Mandigos comes in. Remember, he did start on the softs. Beagle Hunter, Dusty Lusky rather, I think he's going to be on his way in very shortly as well. Nikki 64 will be next in line after that. Shariah Coleslaw, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. That's not what he needed. In comes Dusty Lusky, as we figured. Josh Sr., can he find a way around Shariah Coleslaw here, down to the inside, into turn 4. Room was left, but the move hasn't been made. Now side by side through turn 5. Up the hill towards 6, 7, and 8. This is a tough spot to try to make this move happen. Still side by side between these two. Beautiful battling this is. And it looks like Shariah has come out on top for now. How long it stays that way, we'll have to wait and see. Exiting the pits now is Los Mandigos. Nikki 64 seems to have stayed out another lap. Surely he'll be coming in soon enough. A-Dub and Jonathan Dunk battling it out here. This is eventually going to be for the lead of the Grand Prix. Heavy on the curb goes Jonathan Dunk. I tell you what, it certainly seemed like he's been the underdog in this fight so far. However, perhaps a little too early to tell. Still, only about halfway through this race. Here we are again. Can Josh Sr. find his way around Shariah Coleslaw? Perhaps he wanted it down to the inside. Choosing not to make it yet. Look at the clouds boiling over here in Interlagos. Will we perhaps see some rain? I mean, it's certainly looking like it's a possibility. Off towards the back, Erect has gone off, as it looks like Beagle Hunter wanted the inside of Jonathan Dunk there. Mind you, Jonathan Dunk is going to be battling A-Dub here for what seems to be the lead of the race at some point. That gap now outside of 1 second, although he did have the DRS, and he'll have it for now. Up through the field, this three-car battle for the second spot between Shariah, GSR Ryan Rods, who seems to have found his way around Josh Sr. for the time being. Seems like, for now, doing okay. Right then to the gearbox, yellow flag, and it looks like Mandigos or Villeneuve. No, I believe it's Villeneuve who's gone off towards the back. Close battle here between Ryan Rods and Shariah. Who's going to come out on top? Ryan Rods has the penalty, mind you. Dirty Boy Jackson on his way in now. Josh Sr., I would assume, will be in momentarily as well. And yes, he is. Ryan Rods picking up the DRS from him as well. Josh Sr. on his way in. Oh, and he bumped Shariah into the pits. I don't think that was on purpose, but it definitely got close. Looks like A-Dub still around Jonathan Dunk here. Let's see if either of these drivers can find their way past Dirty Boy Jackson, as Dirty Boy Jackson perhaps successfully pulled off the overcut here. It certainly looks like he could have. as they weave their way down through the first couple of corners. Mind you, Dirty Boy Jackson is going to be at somewhat of an advantage here once he exits the pit lane, seeing as how he's on the soft tires and the drivers ahead of him are on the mediums. The softs are going to be givenly faster than aforementioned medium tires. However, mediums are as decently still fresh. This is a very interesting race here as far as strategy goes. El Majacco and Cake Thomas, two drivers who battle it out for the Drivers' Championship last season, currently battling for P6 here. Eventually going to be P5. Nicky 64 hasn't made his way in just yet. Majacco choosing to be patient so far. Both drivers even Stevens as far as tire strategy goes. Both of them 3-lap-old medium tires. Joko trying to get his way past Mandigos here, perhaps. Mandigos doing a good job, despite having the penalty holding him back. Does it look like Joko might have some damage? No, he just looks to be kind of struggling with the car a little bit. GSR Ryan Rod's on his way in, and this is what we were saying, the battle for the lead of the race, eventual lead of the race, up to it now, A-Dub and Jonathan Dunk. Mind you, that gap only within 0.7 of a second. This one could very well go right down to the wire. Dirty Boy Jackson, I would say, is catching up to him, but that's not really true. Still holding about 3.5 seconds roughly. Plus he has the penalty to worry about as well. But the battle for the lead still raging on between A-Dub and Jonathan Dunk. Two drivers making their full-time debuts were rookie free agents coming into this draft class, battling for the lead, battling for the win. That's absolutely what you want to see. It looks like Majacco's gotten around Cake Thomas for the time being, but not just yet. Nicky 64 in hot pursuit as well. He's got a good shot at this. Let's watch this unfold as they head up through 6, 7, and 8. Cake Thomas goes really wide into the grass. No contact was even made. I just feel like Cake maybe lost the car momentarily, and that was enough for El Majacco to swoop in and take position. Is Nicky 64 perhaps trying the Alex Albon movement here, where he just stays out as long as he can on the one side of the tires until the game forces him to stop before disqualifying him? DRS open here for Jonathan Dunk. He's got a lot of work to do, it seems. Just feels as if Jonathan Dunk is holding on via this DRS, and that's about it. Look at the clouds start to form here over Interlagos. It certainly appears as if rain may be in the forecast, still with 5 laps to go. It is very possible, and I'm very excited to see if that's the case. Remember, rain typically is a prominent thing here at Interlagos, and it's going to be coming at a crucial time, it seems, if it does decide to happen. We'll have to wait and see. Meanwhile, Mandigos looking, Joko actually looking to find his way towards Mandigos here. Both of them have the DRS off the back of Nicky 64, the MP. Nothing to be had just yet. I tell you what, great racing here from everybody on the grid. It's been absolutely brilliant to watch, and we've still got a handful of laps left. Right to the back then of the Dams is Joko. Nearly getting into the back of him then. Mandigos wants around the right side of Nicky 64. Doesn't quite make it happen. He doesn't need to try expressively hard. He's going to get him in straight line speed no matter what. DRS for Jonathan Dunk here. Can he find his way to A-Dub as they make their way onto the 16th lap of the Grand Prix? 0.6 of a second the gap. Jonathan Dunk on the fresher tires as well. Granted, it's only 1 lap, but he's set at purple sector 3 in the process. We'll have to keep an eye on it. Los Mandigos, can he find a way around Nicky 64? And it looks like Nicky is finally on his way into the pits. That means Joko, can he make a move around Mandigos heading in towards turn 1? Look at the sparks come off the underbody of the Dams in front of him. Great detail on that as well. Shout out to Codemasters for getting that right. Josh Sr. on the fresh softs. Can he find his way around Mandigos? It certainly looks like it's going to be a possibility here as they head down the straight between turn 3 and 4. No, nothing quite yet, although I tell you what, it looks like the move could be made very shortly. Valentine, 3 seconds for multiple warnings. I believe that puts him up to 6. Not what he needed, although he looks like he is at least a few seconds ahead of Ray 46 as well. Shiraya's got a penalty. He's in 10th at the moment, watching what is the Virtuosi in front of him, as well as Well, I believe that's still the Cherouse, except it's blue this year. That makes sense. Too many blue-colored cars. I say that about every game, but it never gets fixed, does it? Josh Senior still with those soft tires. The battle for the lead. Down the hill, through turns 1 and 2. It's down to 0.4 of a second with 4 laps to go. DRS open on the MP of Jonathan Dunk. Nothing to be had just yet. Oh, we do have a car that's gone off, and it's... Who is it? It's Erect who's gone off. Over towards the back. Finally starts to regain his composure then. I feel like it's probably too late in the race for a safety car now. Gee, it does look like the rain might happen, but it's very holding off here. Do we see the point to which fresh tires suddenly become valuable here to Jonathan Dunk? Meanwhile, Dirty Boy Jackson, despite having the penalty, starting to close that gap in. El Majaco's found his way up to P4. Good on him as well. He didn't have necessarily the best qualifying results, and yet here he is looking to crack himself a podium as well, perhaps. I think he's maybe a little bit off of it. P4. Not a bad day, though, if, as far as that's concerned. Can Jonathan Dunk find his way around A-Dub? 3 laps to go this time by. DRS open, 12 miles an hour of extra speed as they head down towards turn number 1. And he doesn't look for it just yet. Dirty Boy Jackson, mind you, the fastest lap of the Grand Prix at 1:17.3. Down the hill, through the center S. A-Dub taking the corner wider. Jonathan taking it a little more shallow. DRS enabled once again. A-Dub just seems to have a lot more straight line speed, as it looks like El Majaco and Ryan Rod's battling it out here, side by side between these two. And it looks like Ryan Rod's really kind of had to cut the corner in order to hold on to the position, which he's going to lose anyway. But meanwhile, it looks like Josh Senior and Manigos battling it here down the hill. It looks like Joko's gone around the right side of Manigos as well. Side by side, into the wall they go, and somehow neither of them have DNF'd here, although both drivers have gone off. Bit of drama unfolding there, both drivers having wonderful outings. And it's all gone crashing down in the spirit of what seemed to be close and good racing. It didn't look like any of them did anything egregious. Sometimes those things just seem to happen. Speaking of happening, 0.3 of a second. Can the overtake happen now? 2 laps to go this time by at the stripe. Jonathan Dunk's got DRS. He hasn't led the lap since before the pit stops. Can he perhaps find a way now? Can he look to the right side? He's certainly going to. Round the right side now looks Jonathan Dunk. Goes high in the corner. Cuts back to the inside. Switching back and forth, trying to find a move around A-Dub here. I would say if he's going to be leading the final lap of the Grand Prix, that's what you would want. DRS is open. Can he find the right side of the HWA? And he does. For now. And the overtake, does it get made? Yes, it does. Very no time left whatsoever. And the battle for the lead within 0.1 of a second. Unbelievable stuff here between Jonathan Dunk and A-Dub. 2 drivers, fresh to F2 this season, putting on a show in the opening round of the season. That sentence kind of trailed off forever, but, you know, it is what it is. Towards the back, it looks like Dusty Lusky. Has he perhaps had a little bit of an off? Can't quite tell. But Jonathan Dunk has made the move around AW. Oh, no! And, oh, a big crash towards the back as well. 2 cars have gone off, and they've littered themselves across the circuit. Beagle Hunter and Spaceman coming out of the pits. Too late in the Grand Prix for a safety car, it seems. I don't think one is going to get deployed as we start the final lap of the Grand Prix. Jonathan Dunk trying his best to make the toe. To break the toe, rather. It looks like Spaceman not really happy there with Beagle Hunter. As we look towards the Discord, final lap of the Grand Prix. Villeneuve and Nicky picking up multiple warnings, penalties. A-Dub, can he find it? Look at the car in the middle of the track. That's going to prevent A-Dub from making that move. Spaceman calling out for an intentional wreck on Beagle Hunter, saying it sure felt intentional. Man, that is a heavy claim to make in the first round of the season. 0.2 of a second the gap. A-Dub looking to the back. Remember, his tires are a lap older, but that hasn't hindered his pace. 0.3 of a second between the top 2. Meanwhile, Dirty Boy Jackson's in on this as well. He may just keep the podium. Shariah getting around Josh Senior, it looks like, back there. Jonathan Dunk, I don't think, had the best exits to turn number 10. Does A-Dub have any sort of a chance as they go through turn 12? A-Dub going wide. I tell you what, he might have a run on him here. DRS is enabled. To the line they go, and it just looks like they're going to be able to hold on. And Jonathan Dunk will take the opening round of the Midwest F2 season. A-Dub gave it all he could. Finishes second. Dirty Boy Jackson holds on for third. Absolutely wonderful Grand Prix it's been. GSR Ryan Rod's next to the line. I believe he will keep. No, it doesn't look like he will. It looks like Jacko will be moving his way to fourth. Cake Thomas to fifth. Ryan Rod 6th. Looks like Shirai is going to take 7th. Josh Sr. 8th. Valentine, great day from the Virtuosi team. 8th and 9th for them. Very consistently done then. You like to see that. Joko 11th. Mandy goes 12th. So I feel like those drivers, really should have had themselves a better day, but racing happens. But it's Jonathan Dunk taking the win and A-Dub in second. Dirty Boy Jackson comes home third. Well, apologies for the game glitching and flashing lights then. Jonathan Dunk takes the win of the first round of the season. A-Dub in second. Dirty Boy Jackson third. Majako makes his way up to fourth, claiming driver of the day. Cake Thomas fifth. Ryan Rod sixth. Shariah seventh. Josh Sr. eighth. Ray 46 and ninth. Valentine 10th. Joko 11th. Dusty Lusky 12th. Mandy goes 13th. Nikki 64 and 14th. 15th Villeneuve 16th. Erect 17th. Spaceman. Beagle Hunter 18th, and then rounding out the field, P19 is Killer XL. And what an exciting Grand Prix that has been. Very, very fun to watch, and I'm very glad that we've had the privilege of running F2. And next week, we head to Abu Dhabi. The brand new layout, the brand new game should be a brand new experience. Thank you all for joining, and we hope to see you again next week.